Hello everybody, welcome to Vocabulary Root Words with examples. So this is video 1. Why root words? What is a root word? A root word is the most basic form of a word. Root words can help you break down large words into smaller words to discover their meaning. If you know one root word, it will help you to understand several words in English. But before we proceed, let's talk about the importance of correct pronunciation. Not pronounce, it's pronunciation. There's no noun in pronunciation. Almond, A-L-M-O-N-D, almond, not almond, almond. Comfortable, not comfortable. Grand Prix, Grand Prix. Social, not social, social. Summon, S-A-L-M-O-N. Summon, not Solomon, summon. And lastly, thumb and dumb. The letter B in both words are silent. I've seen the movie Salmon Fishing in the Yemen. It's a good movie, I suggest you watch it. Okay, let's start now. The Greek prefix or the root a and its variant an mean not or without. 1. Apolitical. Apolitical, not interested in politics. Example, unlike some of my friends, I am apolitical. Example 2, despite his father being a member of a major political party, Kumar remained apolitical. To err is human, to blame someone is his politics. Quote attributed to Hubert Humphrey. 2. Ahistorical, ahistorical, not having historical awareness or perspective, ahistorical. Denial of Holocaust is ahistorical. It would be ahistorical to say moon landings did not occur. There are people still maintain that Apollo landings did not happen. It's ahistorical to claim it. What's the most famous maritime disaster in the history? We all know it's Titanic, thanks to the movie. But it's not the deadliest. The lesser known, but the deadliest maritime disaster is the sinking of German military transport ship Wilhelm Gustloff. MV. MV stands for motor vessel. Motor vessel Wilhelm Gustloff. About 9,400 people died in this tragic event. The ship was sunk in the Baltic Sea by Soviet submarine S-13 during Second World War. Most of the casualties were women and children. This is a photo of that ill-fated ship, Wilhelm Gustloff. 3. Amoral, amoral. Having no sense of right and wrong, unable to differentiate, amoral. Example, in this hectic competitive world, life becomes amoral. Please do not get confused with the word immoral. Immoral describes someone who knows the difference between right and wrong, but they just don't care. Example, the immoral corrupt officials slowly destroyed the government machinery. Amoral and immoral. 4. Atypical, atypical. Not typical, cannot be fit into a particular category, irregular or abnormal. Drinking an energy drink before going to bed is atypical. Nobody does it. 5. A-So-shal, A-So-shal. Not social, avoiding social contacts, hostile to society. Though good looking and intelligent, Ray is seen as A-So-shal by his friends. 6. Atheist, atheist. One who doesn't believe in God. Once an atheist, I now believe in God. I once wanted to become an atheist, but I gave up. They have no holidays. Henry Youngman, American comedian. 7. Agnostic, agnostic. One who is unsure whether God exists or not. He or she believes it's not possible to know whether God exists or not. Example, I was agnostic during my student years. A man was walking by a lakeside, enjoying the nature and feeling closer to God. He looked at the sky and said, God, can you hear me? To his amazement, the reply came back saying, yes, I can hear you. The man asked, God, what's a million years to you? Son, a million years to you is 1 second to me. The man said, God, what's $1 million to you? God replied, $1 million to you is $1 to me. The man asked, wouldn't you give me $1 million? God replied, why not? Just a second. 8. Anonymous. Anonymous. Not having a name, lacking individuality, uniqueness, or character. Example. The editor of the magazine received an anonymous letter. The row of drab houses were distinctly anonymous. Most of the best poems or limericks or funny words I've come across is from authors anonymous. That is, for some reason, we don't know the name of the authors. Here's an example of a good, light, funny verse about a millipede. A millipede was happy quite until a frog in fun said, pray, which leg comes after which? This raised her mind to such a pitch, she lay distracted in the ditch, considering how to run. Anonymous. 9. Apathy. Apathy. Indifferent. No show of emotion, passion, or excitement, lack of interest. I was shocked by his apathy to his ailing mother. Example 2. The student's apathy was disconcerting to the teacher. Do you know that more than 100,000 people died due to road accidents in 2020 in India alone? But if 100 people die in a plane crash, it becomes big news. It's headlines. Are we apathetic to road accidents? 10. Amorphous. Amorphous. Not having a definite shape or form, not having a particular kind of character, not having a pattern or system. I was watching the amorphous clouds in the evening sky. Example 2. Apart from being a CEO, Jay also held the amorphous title of Happiness Officer. 11. Anomaly. Anomaly. Not common, unusual, deviating from a common rule, type, or form. Example. If it snows in Chennai, it's an anomaly. There was a novel published in 1969, a French novel. Its name is La Disparition. What's so unusual? What's so anomalous about this novel? Like in English language, the letter E is also a common letter in French. But this French novel, did not contain a single letter E. That's anomalous, isn't it? 12. Anarchy. Anarchy. A state of complete disorder, not having a controlling authority. Anarchist is a person who believes in anarchy or tries to bring about such a situation. Example. A state of anarchy followed in many parts of India after the collapse of Gupta Empire. Anarchy. 13. Amnesia. Amnesia. Partial or total loss of memory. John suffers from amnesia. Some politicians have selective amnesia. Talking about politicians, we are all aware that the ancient Greece, it's not a single individual unified country. Ancient Greece comprised of several small city-states like Athens or Sparta, for example. In the city-state of Athens, the Athenians, that is the inhabitants, They gather about once in a year to write down the names of politicians they feel are becoming too strong, too powerful for the good of the society. So what happens when they decide on, okay, so and so people are becoming too powerful, they send them away in exile. They are just sent away for 10 years. It's not an exile in disgrace. These guys are not denigrated. Their homes are not destroyed. Their people, their family are not harmed. And the guys who are being sent away are aware that this is being done so as to preserve the democracy. And after 10 years, they are welcome back with no ill feeling. Try doing it now. 14. Anemic. Anemic. A condition of not having sufficient red blood cells. Anemic. Something it's not as strong or effective as you think it should be. Example. Recovering from illness, Sylvia looked positively anemic. The economic forecast indicates growth would be anemic. Now we talk about a couple of unrelated words. It's not related to the root we're talking about, but kind of important. Appetite. Appetite. Rigid policy of segregating non-privileged section of a society, thus depriving their fundamental rights. Appetite is a kind of rigid policy. Apartheid was a political and social system in South Africa during the era of white minority rule. Example. Nelson Mandela was a prominent figure in the struggle against apartheid. Alzheimer's. Alzheimer's. A disease that causes brain cells to waste away or degenerate. A person suffering from Alzheimer's disease may become easily confused or disoriented. Alzheimer's disease can affect anyone. Usage. Though there is no cure for Alzheimer's disease, one can still enjoy every day without worrying about it. An old man was sitting in the park weeping. Then a young man passed him by and looked up at the old man and said, "Wow, why this guy is crying?" So he went up to the old man and asked, "Pop, why are you crying?" The old man replied, I was married to a beautiful girl. She is so pretty, so nice. She is a good cook. She takes good care of me. She keeps the house clean. She's a fantastic girl. The young man said, "Pop, then why are you crying? What are you worried about?" The old man replied, "I forgot where I live." End of video 1. Thank you. Have a good day.